Hello, it's Uncommon Fossil, and today I'm looking at the live economy once again. Today's focus is on what to buy in the in-game shop, right? The previous video I talked about what you should buy to maximize converting crystals into credits. My recommendation is to buy the Shadow Rider VMAX League Battle Deck. That averages 3.3 credits per crystal. Now that goes against the advice that I most commonly see, which is to buy Celebrations pack. Now, if you own all of the cards in Celebrations, and that includes the ultra rare and the secret rare cards, which are in the non-playable classic collection, and you don't pull those very often. If you own all of those cards, you will get a higher rate of return of credits with that. But it takes an awful lot of purchases to get to that point. In fact, if you start, there's a simulator out there, and I appreciate the people that put that together. If you, assuming you start with 0 Celebrations cards to start with, it takes you 400 packs to open before it averages higher than the Shadow Rider League Battle Deck, and that's an awful lot of packs to open. I'm not, that's a long time to get there. So even myself that have a number of cards already, it's going to be, I have to open, I think, hundreds of packs before it beats out the Shadow Rider deck. So for the vast majority of people, buy the Shadow Rider League Battle Deck, and the number we're going to use for today's video is the 3.3 credits per crystal, because that will determine which products we should or shouldn't buy. So we come in the shop under bundles. There's a lot of bundles here, and I appreciate Pokemon offering these in game, right? Back with PTCGO, these were not options to buy. You would have to trade with other people that bought it IRL to get any of these cards. So I appreciate the option, and it gives us choices to make. Now, I did a video a little while ago on the Mimikyu EX where I tech that into Shadow Rider. Not the greatest deck, I acknowledge, but I very much wanted to try out the first EX available in live, Mimikyu EX. And I bought the box, spent 1,000 crystals for it, and after taking a look at it now, I realized that was a mistake. I should not have bought it, because I can craft a Mimikyu EX for 750 credits, which and I could have taken my 1,000 crystals this costs, and I could have gotten 3,300 credits. So I could have bought many Mimikyu EXs with that. It doesn't take much at all to craft a common card, so I can ignore the cost of that. In 4 packs, assuming one gets dust from all of them, it's, I believe, about 1,400 credits. So again, so it's significantly less the payout buying the box. I should have just crafted the Mimikyu EX directly. So any of the products really that involve a card or a few cards and a number of packs, like the Pikachu V and VMAX, you get one of each of those, and you get some packs. And any of these products, don't buy in the store. Don't buy these just generic bundles, a couple cards and some packs. It's always going to be better to craft the cards, right? And all of these, just don't do it. If there's ever an exception that comes up, I will certainly report on that, but I don't think there will be. But there are a number of products that are worth buying. The first are these League Battle decks, right? We see the Mew League Battle deck, which is very good, the Ice Rider, Shadow Rider, and these are kind of premium League Battle decks. You get 6 Vs in total, either a 3/3 VMAX and V-Line, or here 2 VMAXs, 2 Mew Vs, and 2 Genesect Vs. And once you add up the costs of the Vs and the rares within this, you're getting, it would take an awful lot to craft. It would take about 9,550 credits to craft the Vs in here and the rares. That's about what I got. Actually, I think it's even higher than that. I take that back. So the cost to craft these is much higher than the cost to buy the product. So these premium League Battle decks, definitely buy in the store if you want the cards, right? Don't buy something you don't actually want to use. Now, there were the older League Battle decks, and I think they still may be making more out in the future that were not as good. The ranking of those, the rating was lower, but I don't think that appears in the name in the shop at all. So let me find one of them. December 21. This is the Urshifu League Battle deck. The cost is the same as the Mew, the Shadow, the Ice Rider, 1,250 credits. crystals, which we could convert that if we bought the Shadow Rider deck to 4,125 credits. So can we craft the cards in this deck for less than 4,125 credits? And the answer to that is no. It would cost more than that by a decided amount. The 2V, it comes with, these aren't as good because they come with 4 Vs in total, 2 Vs, 2 V maxes, but it still is better than crafting them. The Vs cost 1,500 to craft 2 Vs. To craft 2 V maxes, 2,050. And then if you needed all of the rare cards such as Boss, Research, Phalanx, that would cost you, that would take 6,000 credits. So the rares add up quickly, and so we're almost at 10,000 credits to craft all the V maxes and rare cards at 9,550, which is significantly more than the 4,125 that we could have used the credits to if we dusted it. So it's better to buy it, even if we don't need all the rare cards, because obviously the rares, a lot of them are Research, Boss, Marnie. You probably already have play sets of those. You don't need those. But even if you just want the Pokemon rare cards, you still would take over 6,000 credits to get. Now, if you only need the Vs though, it's better off to craft them. I will say that. Like, so if like these 3 Phalanx, if you don't really want Phalanx, and it's not unreasonable to say you don't want the Phalanx. So if you don't want those in your deck you're going to play, right, don't count that. You probably already have the Chinchinos. You may have that, so you don't need that. The Actilleries, you may already have the Actilleries. So if you don't need any of the rares at all, the cost of the Vs alone isn't worth it. So for the lesser quality League Battle decks, it depends. It's still maybe worth to buy, but it depends. It's very situational. If you're going to use a lot of the cards in the deck, if you need the cards, it's worth it. If you only want the Vs, the V maxes, V stars, it's not worth it for these other decks of lesser quality. Now, one of the products which I also bought in the store was the V Union deck, right? I bought the Mewtwo V Union deck, so let's find that here. That was September 2021. There's not a way to search the store as far as I know. I wish there was. I wish I could type in like Mew and see the different, get Mew 2V Union, Mew V Max and such, but you can't do that. Perhaps they'll add that option down the road. So should you buy the V Union collections? And the answer to that is yes. It costs to craft the different V Union pieces. It costs $750 per card, so that is $3,000 in total is what that costs. The Professor Burnett is 400 credits to craft. Now you might not actually want that, but it's there, so you have to decide for yourself if you actually want that. And you get 4 packs also, 4 Evolving Skies packs in this case, and assuming you have the cards in your collection already and they're getting dusted for the most part, you're going to get about 1,400 credits for that. So ignoring the Professor Burnett, because you probably don't want that, it still would cost you get about 4,400 credits in value based upon what it would cost to craft the cards and the dusting you get from the pack. So it's worth buying, but only slightly. If you crafted it, it's not terrible, but it is slightly better to buy the V Union collection. So they're worth buying. A product that's a little trickier to evaluate are the Trainer's Toolkits, right? There's 2 of them have been put out. I'll take a look at the one that came out in 2022. That came out in June in the store. Let's get that. So Trainer's Toolkit goes through all the pieces in it, right? A lot of very useful cards. So if you don't have any of these cards and you wanted to craft them, it would cost over 9,000 credits to do that, okay? And I'm actually including the value you get from the 4. You also get 4 Evolving Skies packs in it. So it would cost you over 9,000 credits, and the cost to buy in the store is 1,500 crystals, which gets you slightly less than 5,000 credits. So if you needed all these cards, it is worth it. But for the most part, you're already going to have the vast majority of these cards in your collection, so it's probably not worth doing. If you only need a select number of cards, it's not worth it. It's not worth it if you say wanted the Lumineon V, but don't need the trainer cards themselves. So probably the trainer's toolkit is not worth buying. You already have those cards in your collection. And then the last product is these battle decks. They're distinct from the league battle decks. The league battle decks all cost $1,250, but there's V battle decks. Also, let's see, one was published in June also, which I was looking at. So they all cost, these battle decks cost 600 crystals, which we could convert into 1,980 credits, or about 2,000 credits. So the question is, can we craft the cards in it for less? And the answer is, it would cost more than that to craft. The V, you get one V in these. Now, these decks aren't overly good, and I'm not sure that you should buy it just in terms of how playable these cards are, but it is worth buying if you really want it. Again, it will depend on what you own. So, Melmetal V would cost 750 credits to craft. That's fine. Obviously, it's still not the value you need, but then you get 5 rare cards in this set. So in this battle deck, you're getting 3 Cabalion and 2 Meganera. And now the question is, do you actually want these cards, right? If you actually want those cards, it would cost you, at 5 rares, it would cost you 2,000 credits to craft them. So we're at 2,750 credits to craft the 1V and these 5 rare cards. Now, you might actually not want these rare cards, in which case the value is not there. Just to get the 1 Melmetal, you do get some other cards that are uncommons, but they're not that expensive to craft, like that you may not own, like cards like Lure Module. But again, is it something that you really want? I'm not sure. So it's something that you could buy if you want to, but it depends. If you really want the vast, all the V and the rares that come in the deck, buy it. It's cheaper than crafting it, but only buy it if you really want it, which is certainly true for everything, right? So just to give the quick overview of what you should buy the League Battle decks, particularly the higher end ones. They're well worth buying. It costs a lot more to craft it. Even the lesser ones like the Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX League Battle deck is worth buying, but you might want to take a little closer look at it. The V Union collections, definitely they're worth buying. It saves you some. The battle decks at 600 crystals, probably not worth buying. I mean, if you really want the cards, the decks, and you don't have any of the rares or the V, then it's worth buying. But it's not certainly the strongest product available to you. And the trainer's toolkit you could buy if you really need the vast majority of the cards, right? It would cost more to craft them, but you probably already have them. So probably avoid that. Then all these many options of a couple cards with a number of packs, don't buy any of those. None of those are worth buying. So League Battle decks, yes. V Union, yes. Everything else, probably not. Take care.